Well, one of the things that I have learned a long time ago is that DDT is an endocrine disruptor. What that means is when creatures that have different needs for different hormones, the DDT can impact the hormones. So, for example, I did a whole show on my Stories We Love. It's my podcast. I did a whole show on the effects of DDT on eagles' eggs. Eagles would eat the fish in the Santa Monica Bay. Years ago, companies dumped DDT there, right into the bay, and it's leaked all over. And so the bay has a lot of DDT in it. And then the eagles would eat the fish, and the fish were eating the creatures that also had DDT. And then the DDT was estrogenic, meaning it created a lot of estrogen. So what happened is when the eagles would get pregnant and then they would have their egg, the eggs were too weak because of the endocrine disruptor of the DDT. So when the eagle would sit on it, the little egg would break, and we were having a diminishment of our eagle population. And the reason I'm sharing about this is because my friend Bobby Kennedy Jr., he was talking about the impact of atrazine. Atrazine is another chemical in our world, and it is an endocrine disruptor. And he was talking about how they had a tank of 40 different frogs, and they put atrazine in the tank with the water, and most of the frogs either became female, and some of them could create eggs. So I've seen this before with the DDT and the eagles. The good news is one of my friends, Reggie Sully, he's the guy I interviewed on Stories We Love. He and his friend Glenn and another guy named Peter Sharp, they go, Reggie and his friend take a helicopter from LA to Catalina. That's where a lot of the eagles work or live, in Catalina. There's a place there where this Dr. Peter Sharp researches eagles, and he'll let them know, hey, a new baby was born. So Glenn, who runs the helicopter, will call my friend Reggie. Reggie gets on the helicopter, and they go, and then they pick up Peter, and they hang him like dope a rope, which I really want to do, hanging from the helicopter all the way to the bird's nest. And then Peter Sharp puts a fake eagle's egg in the eagle's nest, puts the eagle's egg in a little box, and then they take it back and they use it to incubate it, because otherwise the mama bird would squish it with her weight. That's kind of the things that can happen when you have chemicals in the water that can impact creatures or human beings. That's why we want to be aware. That's why we want to have someone like Robert Kennedy Jr., who's an environmental attorney who has been looking at these kinds of issues for 40 years. So he has a kind of different experience by looking at all these kinds of things and how they impact the creatures or the soil or the water or the creatures in the water or the air or humans. So we originally thought DDT was good. We put it on everybody for pesticide use, slathered it on babies. I don't remember any of this. I don't think it came to me, but I've just read about DDT was put everywhere, and then we realized it was toxic. And then they didn't know how to throw it away in a healthy way, so they literally just threw it in the Santa Monica Bay. Well, we have other chemicals, and Bobby is a genius about doing the kind of research it takes to see what these chemicals are doing to the earth and to our creatures and to ourselves. So when he's talking about looking at atrazine to see if it's an endocrine disruptor that kids are getting in their food or in their water, etc., and if it is potentially causing problems, it's not far-fetched, it's not a conspiracy theory, it's a valid question. And we already have situations that have been caused, like with these eagles, that indicate that this happens and that we need to make sure it's not happening continually. We need to make sure to safeguard our water, our soil, our food, our air, so that it's clean and healthy. Bobby is the only one I know who's talking about that. And if you want to watch the stories we love, it's with my friend Reggie Sully. I forget which number it is, but it was one of the first ones. And it was about eagle rescue, baby eagle rescue. And you could see the little baby eagles. And you could see how the mama eagle comes, because he brings the little baby eagles back at the end. And you could see him flying on the dopa rope. It's so exciting. I just love it. And yeah, so if you want to watch that one, you just look up Baby Eagle Rescue on my page, on my YouTube page, and you'll be able to find it. All right, thank you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I love you.